This China Mac. I'm fucking with my guy Mikey T, the movie star. You are now tuned in to Report Card Radio.
But let's talk about it, man. You got another album on the way. It's called After 10.
Facts.
Can you tell me about recording this new project?
After 10 is just, after 10 to me means, well, I did 10 years in prison. I mean, but even with past that, 10 is just a mark of, the end of a phase, right? So it's like, 1 all the way to 10, and then you start over or whatever, right? So, this album marks a new phase for me. You know what I mean? After 10 years of prison, or just graduating from one phase to the next. You know what I mean? I reached a certain point in my life, a certain point in my career, and I feel like, right now marks a whole new level, So recording this album, the album reflects that. There's growth in it. There's just my first album, MITM, was a little more just one way. You know what I mean? It was just straight New York. It was the beats was the way in one way, and it's perfect. It's a perfect album. I love that album. But with music, it reflects where you are in life, right? So when I made that music, I had just came home from doing 10 years. I was still very angry. You know what I'm saying? And I was still like, I still really didn't see much. You know what I'm saying? So when I made that album, that reflected that time of my life. You know what I mean? When I recorded After 10, this reflects another part of my life, like a more positive part. You know what I mean? A more driven part. A more just tired of going through, like, what I've been constantly going through with. And for the most part, that's prison, right? That's just me going back and forth to prison, just doing that. That was a big part of my story. So now it's a new part. It's more successful, more just striving, just getting to the next thing.
So what difficulties did you face in keeping a rap career while on parole or probation? Like, what difficulties does any rapper face when they come home and they're on parole to keep their rap career alive?
Yo, it's harder. You know what I'm saying? It's harder. It's harder for the simple fact you can't get up and just do what you want to do. At the end of the day, you're free, but you're not free because you still need permission to do certain things. So, as an artist, our job is to get out there as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? So wherever it's hot, like let's say you look at your stats or whatever, right? And you're really not hot in your hometown. You know what I'm saying? You might be hotter somewhere else, right? So like let's say you're hotter in a whole nother country. Let's say you're hot in like fucking Puerto Rico, or you're hot in China, or you're hot in Japan, or you really can't, or Germany. You really can't determine who's gonna take on your music. If Germany takes on your music, and it's just like, damn, I have all these opportunities in Germany right now. I may have never been to Germany, never had anything to do with Germany, but they fuck on my music out there. So it shows me that I need to go out there and do shows. I'm going to get paid for it. I'm going to be able to just move my business a lot more than if I stayed in New York. You understand what I'm saying? But now with parole, you can't do that. If you was on parole, if you was off parole, you could just get up.
It's like even when parole or probation is dealing with a celebrity artist, like somebody of like DMX's stature, and they need to be out performing or they need to be on a movie set, does parole or probation make
That's
special?
Different. Well, at that point, you're dealing with bigger companies. You're dealing with record labels. You know what I'm saying? So they'll hire their team, like, you know what I'm saying? Like their legal team to make sure they reach out to whoever they need to reach out to and get you the permits and get you the permission to go out there. But when you're just when you're just coming up as an artist without the big label, without like the company or without the lawyers behind you, it's just you and the parole officer. Like, parole officer, I want to go to Miami. And then if they don't want to let you go, they don't have to let you go. So you can either just go You know what I'm saying? And then, but if you're like a rapper, chances are your parole, it's not too hard to find out if you go to another city. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you're going to go to another city and just stay in your room. So if you're kind of known, there's going to be pictures coming up, and there's going to be, so you can't just leave. You have to kind of like get permission. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it's great to see how much progression you've made in the industry and in life, period. But what's your thoughts on millionaire rappers taking to the streets and making gang affiliations?
um, I think it's counterproductive. You know what I mean? It's counterproductive in one way, but then it could also be beneficial in another way, right? And another way is like you get the clout, right? You get the people behind you, you get protection, you get like, you get the look of a gang behind you. You know what I'm saying? So you get that, and that gives you certain looks or certain whatever. But when you have that around you, and especially if it's not some like people that you already fuck with, like you can't control what other shit, what happens. You know what I'm saying? So if you already got the bread, you know, I think rappers should just like hire like security, you know what I'm saying, versus like gang members, because you can't really control what they do. You know what I'm saying? You do your music and they're out doing whatever, but little do you know, you could be in the studio minding your business making music and they're doing whatever, but then after they do whatever, they come see you. You know what I'm saying? So when they come see you, whatever they did is kind of, and if you're constantly with them and they're still constantly doing shit, whether you're doing anything or not, just them being around you all this time, it could leave room for them to start questioning you, look into what you're doing, and like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's like, if you got the bread, if you're successful, fuck all that shit. Just hire security, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.